welcome back students. Today we are looking at English Language Paper 2 and we're going to be looking at question 4 today to complete that for your homework this week. Question 4 is somewhat an extension of question 2 as you're still comparing both source A and source B to each other. However, the focus this time, as you know, is on how the writers convey their different perspectives. And today we're looking at their perspectives on the extreme weather. This question is worth 16 marks, so it's your big mark question on the reading section. This means we're going to give 15 minutes to it in the exam. That's 4 minutes planning time, 11 minutes writing time. In the actual exam, you shouldn't need any time for reading the sources because you've already read them, you've used them for question 1, question 2, question 3. However, because we did them last week for homework, for this video I'm going to give you just 2 minutes to recap, read over the sources and remind yourself of the annotations that you made last week. Okay, so now you've had a couple of minutes to remind yourself of the 2 extracts, the ones that we read last week. Then we open up and we go straight to question 4. Don't forget, the key to doing well in this language exam is to follow the steps that your English teacher has given you, your steps to success. For question 4, our first step is to read and to highlight the question. So it always begins, for this question, you need to refer to the whole of source A together with the whole of source B. They've already put that in bold for you, nice exam board. And then here's your actual question. Compare how the writers convey their different perspectives on the extreme weather conditions. In your answer, you could compare their different perspectives on the extreme weather conditions, compare the methods the writers use to convey their different perspectives, support your response with reference to both texts, and it's worth quite a scary 16 marks. Our keywords are here, the skill, AO3, we're comparing. We're also comparing the how, which is how the question's different to question 2. We have to look at their methods and then always how they convey their different perspectives, and today we're looking at extreme weather with both of them snowy texts. In your answer, you could compare their different perspectives. What does this even mean? We're thinking almost about how they feel about the extreme weather, almost their emotions. You're going to use some of your tone words when thinking about this. Their methods is the language that they're using. So we're going to have a bit of a language analysis focus in this question, a bit of a technical focus, and here just means use quotes, as you should expect to do in every question on this paper. Okay, step 2 is to find your topics that we can use to compare the texts. These will be key themes or topics that you have identified coming up in both sources. These are often things like sounds, nature, temperature, atmosphere, journeys, but you'll have to be flexible on the day. Now this is a really tricky bit, finding the key themes, topics across both texts. Now, when I've done my thinking of it, then I'm going to begin with kind of a little bit of a summary, source A and source B. And they are both first person accounts. That's how they're conveying their perspectives. One of a storm, a big ordeal. One of a diary when he walked through snowy London. Both of these are quite factual, and they definitely give the different perspectives of the weather. Now to the tricky bit, the themes. The first theme I identify is that both talk about the sounds or lack of sound. In source A, we have the sounds are really scary, definitely terrifying. I go to my text, look at my label from before where I've got sounds and some nice quotes here. We've got the howl, the storm, we've got the roar of the storm, we've got the scream of the storm, and then my kind of technical bit here, we're personifying the storm, we're making it sound quite animalistic as well. Then we've got source B. I go to my Mumby text, and here I look at the bit where I've marked that there was silence there. That's still a sound, just a lack of sound. So I can add that here, and we've got kind of silence, and that equals peaceful. And then I need some quotes. What have we got here? So I look here back at my source. I go into my paragraph label that says silence, lack of sound. Find a nice quote. Pick an obvious one, the absolute silence, and I will put that on to my plan here. Absolute adjective to describe the nice silence in London, because there's nothing on the roads, all the snow stopped it coming. And then I'm going to put here that he's enjoying London in the snow. Our next point of comparison, we're going to go for atmosphere and how that's conveyed in both extracts. In source A, we've got the atmosphere makes the climber feel very vulnerable and scared. And for that, I'm going to find a quote from source A. And I'm going to choose this quote here about the wind being a bullying force. I think that's a weighty quote. Bullying force. Why have I chosen it? Because again, it's personified. And I kind of like this verb as well. I'd like to talk about that in my answer. For source B, what have we got here? The atmosphere makes him feel very calm. A synonym might be serene. And then I need to get my quotes from source B. All over here we've got this nice word, exquisite. We have here as well, beautiful. And another word, thought picturesque was in there, maybe I'm wrong. I'll go for wondrous, lovely, scene. Aha, picturesque is there, thank you. Picture-esque-ish. Excellent, and how does this make it seem? Here we've got it seems kind of like a threat, and here it seems very peaceful, very beautiful in that scene. Okay, you will then need a third point of comparison, and I'm not going to do that for you. So you need a topic that you find yourself. Remember the ones from before, potentially nature, temperature, effects on people. You're going to need source A and your kind of adjective. Then your quote. Then find something for your analysis and your inference sentence. And then of course, same for source B, an adjective, a quote, run out of space here, sorry guys, and then your analysis and your inference. If you need to pause the video while you do that yourself, find your third point of comparison, and you can do that now. Okay. We've identified our weighty quotes, we've done that for topics 2, and you can do that yourself for topic 3, and now we're ready to write our response. I'm actually going to skip page 8 and begin writing on page 9 so that I can quickly flip in between my plan and my answer. If you need extra paper, then of course you can just ask for that on the day. So I'm going to begin with almost an introductory paragraph or mini paragraph. The writers in sources A and B both use first person personal accounts to convey contrasting, because they're very different, perspectives on the extreme weather, using the words from the question always. Our first writer, Dickinson, is terrified, rightly so, I would be too, whereas Mumby finds the snow pleasant and peaceful. And then we go into our first paragraph. Remember, you're doing statement, quote, analysis, inference, then another quote from the next source, analysis, inference. I'm going to do this one with you and then you're on your own. Third point of comparison. Both writers show their perspective on the extreme weather through description of sounds. Dickinson, that's source A, describes a terrifying experience of a storm. And then I'm going to go the personification straight in there of the, quite remember. What did I say? Howl, roar and scream. Howl, oopsie, roar and scream with the wind. Make it sound threatening and animalistic. In contrast, Memby finds the lack of noise in snowy London peaceful. The adjectives, what did I put? Charming, purity. Are used to describe the quiet, more pleasant London in the snow. Point of comparison 1, done. I'll be starting you off on the next one. Next, both writers describe the atmosphere. Dickinson conveys a feeling of vulnerability in the storm. You're going to go back, you're going to get your quote. He describes the storm as a bullying force. Then your analysis, your inference on that quote. Zooming in maybe on bullying, on force, saying how it makes it seem very threatening and fatal. Then you're going to connect to source B. We said there, how's he feeling? Calm, serene. You're going to use your quote or your lots of little quotes. Then go for your analysis, inference of them. By that point you're probably on to page 10 and you can go for your final comparison where you're going to have your kind of topic sentence or your topic. Then source A, your adjective, your quote, your analysis, inference, and then source B, an adjective, quote, analysis, inference. It's a big question and you will get quicker. On the video I'm going to give you 10 minutes now just to finish writing up your answer ready to submit to your teacher. Excellent, you should now be finished with your question 4 homework. Well done, guys. I'm just going to quickly go through some of the common errors that people are having with question 4. The first one is, don't forget that this is a comparison of different perspectives on the extreme weather, or whatever the question is. You're not comparing the actual snow in source A and source B. You're comparing how the writer writes about the snow or feels about the snow in each extract. Secondly, don't forget it could be a comparison of similarities or differences. So in that exam, think, are you looking at things that are similar, looking at things that are different? We can't know what's going to come up. Finally, don't forget as you write, it's a comparison, so we need some of our comparative phrases all the way through. If I look back at my answer, I use words like both, contrasting, in contrast, next, that's not comparative, sorry, and both, all the way through to make my comparison really tight, really clear. And then the final tricky bit is timing. As you get to question 4, this is your big mock question, 16 marks, and you do not want to rush it, especially as you're kind of coming up to your time in your reading section. This is not a question that you can miss out. This is a question that you all need to try. You all need to give it your best shot. Thanks for watching.